Hey guys, my name is Jordan Johnson. I'm a driver at Racing Academy and sometimes classmate for my Twitch streams. I'm also a Prodigy P3 Championship driver, and I am here to bring you a hot lap of a Winton Club circuit, which is the 2024 Season 4, Week 2 Mx-5 Cup, which is being used currently for the Racing Prodigy PRL Golden ticket. That is going to be to bring everyone into a real-life seat in the Radical SR1s in the coming year. And we're going to bring you a hot lap of this Winton Club circuit, a very, very tricky circuit with a lot of deceptive hairpins, small little tips and tricks that you really want to keep track of. And a car that's normally quite understeery has turned into be quite a challenge for this relatively quick lap, just over a minute, as we roll through about a minute and second lap time. Certainly a little bit more time capable, but proving it to be the biggest challenge. So get everyone through some tips and tricks, try to find you some time as we our hot lap. We're going to jump on board with our first flying lap here, rolling through onto our actual fastest lap. So your fastest laps are going to be in those first 5 lap brackets. My personal fastest lap is on lap 3 of my stint. We're going to be braking around this 50-meter board a little bit beforehand. You're going to see that I'm braking just as that hood's kind of reaching. It's going to vary a little bit, but just focusing on carrying that speed. You can see quite early off of the brake. I'm nowhere near the apex, maybe car lengths out, and then I'm just kind of keeping the balance of the car. I'm keeping that slide and committing to the corner. Let the car track all the way out to the outside there. Throwing the car just a lift and a tiny track of brake. Can use all of this track on the outside. Let the car use that dirt. Those coming through forward, not very important to hit this first apex. That's more for later in the corner. We want to just keep our speed up, keep a little bit of throttle late in the corner, because we want to use the weight transfer of coming off the throttle to get that turn in late in the corners. We're all the ways on that far outside, focused on that apex late in the corner here. Really trying to nail it so we're straight as we roll over this curb, get set up for braking. Pretty much as soon as I get the car landed off of that curb, that's when I'm on that brake and trying to get the car settled and tracked out to this outside, open up this hairpin. As soon as we get out to this hairpin, really track the car out for a late turn-in, down to first gear. We're gonna try to get a late apex very, very straight, and we aren't gonna track all the ways out because we need to set up this next corner up ahead. Bring the car all the ways out to the right edge of the track. Get late turn in, late apex, just balancing the car with a little bit of throttle. Again, don't track the car all the ways out because we're gonna head into our final hairpin of this sequence, and it's leading onto our longest straightaway of the circuit. And that's going to be super important to set up as we bring the car back, getting the car in very, very late, limiting that sliding as we track the car out, open up that wheel early, and use all the track space available. And as we approach this final heavy braking zone, tracking through this grass is quite important. Open up that track just a little bit, and we're going to actually jump over this curb just a tiny bit. As soon as we land there, we're just on brake, trying to bleed off a tiny bit of speed and rotate that car around. Hooked up all the ways to the inside. Don't want to roll up on that curb. Let the car roll nice and close on the bottom of it, but don't want to jump up. Same for this next curb. We can roll up onto the top of the curb here. So your left tires are going to be rolling on top there, as well as maybe a little bit on the inside. We're going to cut all that inside, and coming into these sausage curbs, there's a little seam in between the middle of them. You're going to try to straddle those curbs perfectly so your left tires are right in between that seam. If any further to the left, you're likely going to bottom the car out. You're going to get a big jump and can damage the front of the car as well. Any further to the right, you're going to be just leaving some time on the table. We're going to roll through here. Going to be a quick little 1 minute 2.294. We're going to take one more quick look at that offboard. Really just try to get an idea of what the track limits are looking like off the car. Again, braking around that 50-meter board, using all that track space available right up on the edge of that white line. And using right at the top of the curb here. It's kind of a familiar theme with this track and car layout. You don't want to be rolling to the inside whenever you have these kind of rounded curbs, because you're going to hook the tire and it's going to jump the car back out. Roll off the top of the curb. Can use the dirt here. As long as the car isn't sitting on the far outside, the middle of that car isn't in the dirt, you're good to go. You can see just a tiny bit of brake, maybe 5% just to pull the nose in, and all the space on the inside here. Can dip those inside tires ever so slightly on the inside grass here. No more than here. This is about perfect, pretty much with the rear tire just barely on that curb, front tire slightly in the dirt, and opening it up all the way, letting the car track out again slightly into the dirt, but really maximizing that track limit. Here we'll be able to see, just let the car miss that apex a little bit. We're more focused on the end of the corner, getting that weight transfer to rotate the car late in the corner. Straight over this curb. That way your car doesn't jump as hard. You don't get hooked coming off that rounded curb. You're going to get a little bit of a hop. Going to unsettle the car and let the car track out here. We could have actually let the car track out a little bit more. But we really want to focus on that late apex, getting the car settled down in the first gear. We don't shift up from this point until we get to the straightaway. Get the car straight again, quickly over to the right-hand side of the track, using almost all of that space. Back for a late apex, just hogging that white line. And not going to be able to get all the way over to the left edge of the track here, but open up that car corner as much as possible. Miss the apex here a tiny bit. We want to get inside there. I probably left half a tenth on the table there because of it, maybe a tenth. And just let the car track out. Don't want to resist the momentum of the steering. And here, this is the corner we were talking about, running over that apex curbing or the full layout, and let the car roll through here. We don't have our brake on anymore. We're really actually trying to gain momentum once we start getting the car to rotate in here. Don't roll over that curb. Just kiss the bottom of it. And again, don't want to cut over this curb. Just rolling up on that top edge, the top of the rounded edge. Going to give us the most grip without unsettling the car. And a quick cutover can really use all of this inside green curb. As long as the car's not hooking back over, you kind of want to come off with this flat edge of the curb right at the end and straddle those curbs, left tires right into that gap. That's going to settle you for a really quick lap, limit that sliding, and that's going to be your fast lap there. We're going to play it one more time without any commentary. Just let the lap play through.